Hi, I'm Glenn Tinley with Marketplace Magazine and Studio Media Group, and I am here with Laurie Kepron, the Vice President of Integrated Marketing for the National Hockey League. That is a mouthful of a title, but
I like it.
Congratulations.
You did well, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I want to do a quick mention. Laurie, you are a former Winnipegger, so welcome back to Winnipeg.
Love it.
And you are a graduate of the Asper School of Business.
I am.
So, and you're here in Winnipeg judging a marketing conference. Tell me a little bit, let's start with what, tell me a bit about that.
Absolutely. Well, they were so kind to invite me back to judge, no less in January. So I really appreciate that, given,
Well, we wanted, it's Winnipeg, we want you to experience, not what Winnipeg's about,
Remember,
but you want
yeah.
the memories, right? In Toronto, now you just don't get this, anymore.
We get soft
Yeah.
out there. So no, but it was absolutely fantastic. The professionalism and just the diversity, in terms of the competition and the teams, it was really well done. So today I was in to judge the finals. So we had 4 teams that I have to say were so close in terms of, their presentation and the point system that we used to score, and incredibly interesting, and it really made me appreciate that there are some really smart people out there.
You know what? There's, we're lucky enough to be associated with the Asper School through Marketplace Magazine.
Exactly.
And it's surprising. I don't want to consider myself old as of yet, but it amazes me the talent of people and that are in the school, just in the Asper School that I know of.
Yeah.
And you just think, man, we're in pretty good shape moving forward if that's the talent coming out of those schools.
Absolutely, and it gets me excited because I think about when I was, in school and was taking the marketing courses and wasn't sure about my future. I think that hopefully for them to realize the opportunities that are out there and that coming, as it were, from Asper Center, it's a great foundation for them in terms of their business and their career path.
You're a fantastic ambassador because you've gone on from there to really, let's talk on a global, the NHL really is a global enterprise now. Traveling to the UK and for games and different, in Japan?
Well, the Olympics were in Japan, but yes, we played games over there as part of the lead up to the Olympics, as part of our sort of get into market and sort of profile and build the demand. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that combined with just the fact that the internet, internet and everything like that. So tell me a little bit about what is the Vice President of Integrated Marketing for NHL?
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic place to be, especially right now, because I really think that there is a lot of momentum. And so my responsibility is really focused mostly on Canada, but because we are a North American league and we also are looking to sort of elevate our brand in Europe and beyond, is that we work on really a global strategy. So I would work with sort of developing our North American strategy as it relates to marketing. So how are we developing the brand? How are we reaching the consumers? What are our direct-to-consumer models? Really sort of trying to pay attention to trends, really sort of focusing. I think that what we've been doing well is sort of taking a look at the digital media, understanding that we now look at the league as a media company. This is not just about sports anymore. It's about media, it's about content, it's about really expanding our fan base. So really sort of looking beyond sort of what you might see as a traditional fan and looking to expand and really increase our casual fan base.
And you see that, I see it, if you were to take the NFL in the U.S. And the focus on game day and and everything that surrounds it, and I'm starting to see that now with NHL. So not that you've sort of copied anything, but you take what works, right?
Oh my goodness! Yes.
And how has that changed over the last, say the last 5 years? And then how do you predict 5 years out? So for those people watching from a marketing standpoint, and you're you're in the trenches every day. How do you look forward 2, 3, 4, 5 years and say, where's this going? Because it's changed so quickly.
It does. No, you're absolutely right. And really, the NFL, they do an exceptional job. And so what they do well is they have a really great strategy on displaced fans. So fans that do not live in the city that their team lives in. And so we really have taken and learned from, because that's how, best practices.
Sure, you bet.
We may as well steal them. So we really now are very focused against that as a strategy from a national perspective. The clubs, they still focus very much on their local fan base, which is a great sort of division of responsibilities. So the displaced fan is, so we are looking to really sort of market and cater to, say, the Vancouver fan that lives in Winnipeg,
right,
or the Coyote fan that lives in Winnipeg, probably right, a much better example, yeah, actually. So, so we want to appeal to them through our business model. So how do we get them online buying our product? How do we get them following the games online? How do we engage them with our mobile product in terms of the live distribution of games through your mobile device? So that is really where we spend a lot of time thinking.
And like mobile, I mean, I'm a big proponent of the mobile handheld,
yeah,
the smartphone.
Brand
you
in the
see
hand.
Where it's going, brand in the hand, as you, yeah, were saying. Where do you guys see that?
Yeah.
I mean, headed, you see people basically watching games on their phones.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And so that is a strategy, I mean, that is in the world of media relatively recent in terms of delivering live games to the phone. So probably that is about, I would suggest, 18 months old, and we have seen significant uptake. So you may sort of question, well, is that really a consumer experience that works? But it really, as you think about the fact that the mobile device is very individual, it's something that is always accessible. Mm-hmm. So it's very timely, because what we know about our brand is that nothing beats our brand in terms of immediacy. Right. You want to consume the game when it's happening. You can't sort of tell your friend, no, don't tell me the score, yeah, because I've PVR'd it. It doesn't work.
Sports doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. So we're really fortunate in that we have great mobile partners in Canada as well as in the U.S., and that we will continue to sort of really be aggressive in our business models there in terms of the mobile world.
Well, and you can see, I mean, there's 4G coming, like these things are only getting quicker. So, yeah, and we were talking a little bit off camera about, mm-hmm, I heard an interview today on CBC with the 24/7, the HBO series that's coming out, 4-part, yeah, series, and they followed Ovechkin and Crosby, yeah, and so 2 parts to this. One, that their description from the gentleman that produced from HBO, I don't remember his name, was that this is going to change, when people see this, it'll change the way people see hockey, mm-hmm, because it really puts the personality of the players out in front, yeah, as a real, sort of the real person.
Yeah. And really, with HBO, so fortunate, because we were the first league that they had approached to say, you know what, 24/7 exists as a brand for them, but we want to sort of take a look at, perhaps this could work with, the lead up to the Winter Classic, which, right, was played in Pittsburgh. So, and the incredible rivalry between sort of Sydney being positioned as sort of your all Canadian and let's say all American sort of great, superstar, and then Alex sort of representing maybe sort of your the player with a little bit of the edge, sort, yeah, of the antithesis to Sydney, but incredibly talented and an appeal to another sort of sense of fan base. So what we saw with the HBO is that we really wanted to reach out to our casual fans. So our avid fans they're committed, they'll watch, yeah, they'll buy, they'll go to the games, but our casual fans, if we can engage them and if we can have them sort of the water cooler conversation, have them engage, that is the growth of our game.
Yeah. And that takes me then to, again, a couple years ago, the NHL, you might say, was in a little bit of the doldrums.
Right.
Talk of, TV contract was sort of declining and they couldn't really find something, but still took it a positive, said, you know what, hey, it's not like we're going to stop playing games. No. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, the last couple of years, there's this buzz and energy happening. Yeah. Is it a correlation of these young superstars that Winnipeggers own, Jonathan Taves, yeah, Cam Barker from Chicago, yeah, Sidney Crosby, yeah, Ovechkin? I mean, you've got this sort of the Stahl brothers. You've, yeah, got all these guys that are sort of coming up and all at the same time, and obviously that's helped from a marketing standpoint. Yeah. You must love it. Yes. But how is that going to change with the TV contracts and things like that moving forward, combined with your digital strategies?
Right. And so I think it's so great because our players are fantastic. They're so appealable. They're so clean cut. They're so they're just really good guys. And so when you sort of have that as an asset to really overlay your marketing, it doesn't get much better than that. Mm-hmm. So I think, though, to your point, is that it's absolutely accurate in that I think we've seen momentum in the last sort of probably 2 years. And that is a combination of a lot of things. It's a combination of timing in terms of these great young athletes that have all come into the draft, have been drafted and then come into the league and been successful. They haven't even sort of taken time to ramp up. You see Tavares and you see Jonathan Toews, Jonathan winning the Stanley Cup last year.
Yeah.
How fantastic is that for Winnipeg? So so you see that, so that's great timing. Then you see a lot of strategy, sort of being discussed, in our head office in terms of, okay, how do we take advantage of that? What's important to our fan base? How do we change our business model? How do we really sort of take a look at the direct-to-consumer sort of models that we have? What's successful, what's not, what hasn't been working? And so that there you've seen sort of what we look at in terms of our calendar of events, and you look at some of the events we've added that have been sort of destination events like a Winter Classic, unique. NBC needed something on January 1st to compete with the bowl games. How do we deliver something to them that really rises above? And we've seen that it's worked. And in fairness, we've been a little bit lucky, in terms of the hockey gods and the weather.
Sure.
And then just in terms of, some of the matchups, in terms of the finals. So, as good as you can be, it's good to be lucky too.
Well, yeah, but you have to win the benefit, taking advantage of those lucky. When you get the lucky break, seeing it and saying we need to go now, because and being ready. So that's being prepared from your standpoint and your team.
Exactly.
When that hits, we got to go now. And we got to be ready to go and be able to execute.
No question. That's exactly it.
Yeah. Finally, then. With this, where does it go? Players are sort of, I think, seeing that they're part of this brand. Yeah. They're part of the marketing of the league. Yeah. They're not just sort of, well, this is just me and I'm here to do a job. They understand that's their job and they have to win for their team. Yeah. But I have a sense that they sort of see, we're part of this NHL as a team. Yeah. And then how do you take those brand of the players and then market? What's the sort of strategy from that standpoint to market them?
Yeah. Quite frankly, it's push the pedal to the metal, right? We've got some momentum. I think if you're, being involved with sports, how important that is. So you want to really capitalize on that. So I think as we look out in terms of a business planning, and we are absolutely well into talking about not only next year, but the year after, there's big issues that come up before then in terms of Olympic participation, in terms of we're negotiating our TV deal right now, but we think, we really feel that all of it is positive. So I think to your earlier point is you want to be ready, you want to be strategic, thoughtful, you want to learn from any mistakes that may have existed in the past. Mm-hmm. Not that we had made any. Nobody made these mistakes. We didn't. I didn't.
No, of course not.
So, but you want to be ready to go, and you want to really recognize that, I can't stress enough that sort of our strategy is to be a content provider. It is to be a media company, and it is really to sort of to be everywhere, to not to be everything to everybody, but to be everywhere as it relates to NHL and just the fantastic product that it is.
Well, it still is a fantastic product to watch, and we have a great team here, and everybody still it's hockey, exciting. Right? And people like to watch it. So I see great things forward for the NHL on a go-forward basis. So thank you for spending a little bit of time with us.
My pleasure.
Congratulations on your success
it's exciting.
With the NHL and being a Winnipegger and being a grad of the Asper School. And in some, you sort of look back and go, wow, this has been kind of a fun ride. It must be a fun ride.
Oh, I do have to be honest. It's been a great ride. I do a lot of work in New York. My boss is there, and to sort of think that, to sort of take a look at the path and to understand sort of where you've come from, which has been so amazing. If people actually at the office, they laugh a little bit at me because I'm so Winnipeg Jets-ish, like, oh, Laurie, kind of thing. Well, but it's great. It's sort of it's a really important identifier for me. But it's been a great path, and hopefully it'll just continue. Yeah. Well, again, congratulations on your success, and have fun at the speaking at tonight's dinner as the keynote. I'm sure everybody's very excited to hear you speak. I know they'll be excited. That's good. So we hopefully will speak again sometime. Awesome. Thanks so much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And I am Glenn Tinley with Marketplace Magazine, signing off for now, and we will see you again next time.